Hello everybody and welcome back to Tiny House Soap Company. Today we are doing our November plan with me, so get out your bullet journals and let's get planning. I cannot believe that it's already November, and I know if you've been watching a lot of other bullet journal videos, you've heard them say probably the exact same thing, but this year is just flying by, and I don't know if it's doing these bullet journals with you guys that is making me notice it a little bit more, or if it is just that time is speeding up as I get older. I'm not sure. But this month I am doing sort of a geometric theme, which I know if you guys have watched my videos, you've seen me do another geometric video as well, but I'm doing it a little bit different this time, and I have seen a lot of, or on Pinterest I've noticed a lot of these geometric drawings of animals, and I wanted to try my hand at that and do one of those, so I decided to do that. Starting off here on this page, I've also decided to try and do a few different hand lettering fonts, so you may notice that some of my cursive is a little bit different, and I just feel like I really need to work on that. So I used my ruler a lot for this, and if you guys are familiar with this ruler, because I've used it a lot, I just got it at a local Michael's craft store, and then I used my Faber-Castell artist pen a lot just because I wasn't sure if I was going to go back through and color in these, and so I didn't want that ink to run any, and the Faber-Castell artist pen is the way to go if you're thinking you might be coloring something in later, because it doesn't mess up. The other thing, if you noticed a few times I've messed up on this, I went back in and I used my Uniball Signo Gel white pen, and it is the best gel pen that I have ever found. I have a pack of 3. I'm nowhere near using all of them, and they just work really, really well. So if you're looking for a gel pen that's not going to clog, not going to not work after you haven't picked it up for a month, that is the pen to use. So moving on to my monthly planner here, and I decided to make the boxes a little bit smaller. I always want to have these big areas to write things in for my monthly planning. Like I'm going to sit down and write what I did for that day on the box, but I never do that. So I do use it in the sense that I put down appointments or important things that I wanted to, but I don't write in it every day. So I decided to go to the smaller boxes. Sticking with my geometric theme here, I first outlined a bear drawing with my pencil, and then going back in with my Faber-Castell and just using, because I really wanted these lines to be clean, I decided to use my ruler to just make sure that those lines were really clean. You could do it without a ruler for sure, and it would be just fine. Then, because my boxes are smaller, I was able to go ahead and put in my boxes that I usually have for my bills, my chores, and then my little savings plans that I always do. And I just have this book that I keep on the side of things written down, and sometimes I will refer to that area if there's something that I always put, and that way I don't have to flip all the way back to the next month or to whenever. I was going to just do the outlining on some of the letters, but I decided that I wanted to go ahead and outline all of the letters. Because this month is November and my birthday is actually in this month, I went with a green theme because green is also my favorite color. So I wanted to use a lot of green, so I pulled out a lot of my Tombow dual brush pens that I think are just really beautiful colors. This next page, of course, is my habit tracker, and you guys know that over the last couple of months I have been using this horizontal habit tracker, and I have really liked the way that it looks, and so I've stuck with it this month. And doing the geometric theme, I just decided to do some hexagons. The big ones I had to sort of hand draw because my ruler obviously doesn't go to that size, but some of those smaller ones I was able to just outline with my ruler, which is one of the reasons why I love that ruler so much. And again, I just got that ruler at Michael's, so I couldn't find one online, so I can't link that, but if you have a local Michael's, just go check it out there, and I'm sure that you'll find it. Sticking with the green, and in this page I decided that I wanted to color in those hexagons, and so I used a mixture of my Tombow dual brush pens in pink and light pink colors and green, and I also used the Tim Holtz Adirondack alcohol ink to do some of the gold coloration on there, because I thought it needed a little pop of some metal color, and I really like the way that it looks. You just have to be really careful with that. I didn't use like a brush or anything. I just took it and very lightly, dabbed it, and it kind of uses that osmosis of just seeping onto the page. So if you do that though, as you saw on that bottom one, I had a little bit of trouble with it, so just be careful with that. Then going through and filling in my habits that I'm going to track this month, instead of counting how many cups of water I drink a day, I'm just going to start counting if I drink water or not, because it's just too difficult to keep up with, and I haven't been doing it routinely, and so I think it would just be better to mark, did I drink some water, and make it a mental note that day of I'm going to have a goal to get to 8 cups. Sticking with my meal plan, I really like the way that this setup is, so that I can write down the recipes of what I have in my house to make, and then I can go back and review that list, make the meals, put it as that's what I've eaten, so we can kind of keep it mixed up. This time I'm just going through with similar colors as I used on the last page, and just doing a little background to give it a little bit of interest there. Now typically my last page, but I have one more page after this that I'm gonna do, but my brain dump page, going back in with the geometric, I found some geometric feathers on Pinterest, and so I decided I needed to put one of those in there, and just using a little bit of Zentangling here, which was it was quite fun to do. So don't forget that if you're having a hard time of thinking of ideas, Pinterest is your friend, and look at Zentangles. They're so easy to do. You don't have to have a lot of artistic ability to draw lines. So don't overthink it. If you're having trouble, just get on there, look at some Zentangles, and recreate that pattern. You don't have to do the fancy ones. As you can see, a lot of this here is just lines that I'm drawing. I was going to go in and outline my hand lettering this time, but then as I did it, I didn't really like it, so I just kind of went over it again with a Tombow to make it a little bit darker. Now this next page is a new page for me, and I'm going to try and have a little bit more self-care, more self-love this month. I'm going to start that, and so the way that I am doing this is by coming up with sort of a beauty routine of how I am going to take care of myself better. So I think everybody needs to have a little bit of self-love, and this page right here I will show you. This drawing that I'm doing was outlined from the Mascara Beauty company, and so they have pictures of how to highlight and contour and all of that jazz, and I just printed off the picture and used it to outline everything, and that way I could have this really nice picture, because I just can't draw faces. It's not a talent that I have. I can definitely outline though, and I think most people can. I also really like the hand lettering that I did on this page. I think it turned out really nicely. So then just using sort of that swiping motion to give a little bit of color. So this is the page that I used, and as you can see, you can kind of see it through the outline. It's better in person. So flipping now to the flip through here of October to give you just a view over of how this month turned out for me. And I did not do, since we went on vacation, there's a big hole in my habit tracker because I didn't use it very much. And then my brain dump, which I was pretty active in this month, and my celiac restaurant guide, which I still need to work on as we go and eat places. I need to make sure and remember that. And then finally the flip through here of November. And lastly here we've got our flip through of November. So I do love the way that this turned out. I love all of the greens in there and how a lot of the pages just look really clean. The geometric design just makes things look really clean. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I always try and return them. Otherwise, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Happy bullet journaling.